Good morning, everyone. I'm not a stranger to this room, but I feel like one right now with the microphone. So I'll make it very quick, because Lee said you get 3 minutes to say hello, and it usually takes me longer. On behalf of Destination Plymouth, the Plymouth County group, we're so pleased to have you here this morning to announce the acceptance of a grant that is going to be extremely beneficial to the town of Plymouth, our sister county, and as well as the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Each one of you in this room has played an important part, and we are extremely pleased to have you with us. And also it is my pleasure to introduce Keiko Orell from the Office of Travel and Tourism. I think I've known Keiko from the day she took over the office, and she has been a real friend of Southeastern Massachusetts. Keiko, thank you for being here, and please come up.
Thank you, Ken. Good morning. My name is Keiko Orell, and I'm the Executive Director of the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism. This is an exciting day for Plymouth County. As a Plymouth County resident, as a Southeastern Plymouth County resident, I am thrilled to announce the $1 Million award for marketing for the Travel and Tourism Season Extension Grant that we'll be working with See Plymouth on. I am bringing greetings on behalf of Secretary Yvonne Howe. She is the Secretary of Economic Development. She is a wonderful supporter of the tourism industry, and unfortunately she couldn't be with us today, but she does send her congratulations, and as well as the Lieutenant Governor and Governor Healy and Lieutenant Governor Driscoll. Last week, we had the wonderful privilege of hosting some international tour operators in Boston at the Discover New England Summit. I know that some of you were there. We had a great turnout for that event, the first time in over 3 years that regionally the 6 states in New England gathered together to say that we are very interested in international tour operators coming to explore our region. For our part, we said, please come explore Massachusetts and stay as long as you can. And it was a wonderful summit. It was a wonderful opportunity to showcase our state. There are hidden gems around the state. I believe that Southeastern Massachusetts is one of those hidden gems. With this grant, we will be able to talk to people about kind of the shoulder season from November through April. We'll be able to help them understand that there is so much to explore. Maybe it's a quieter time of year, but as we grow and as things continue to bubble to the surface, we'll be able to even have more activity during those times. So we're excited about the opportunities that are ahead and the hope that there is for that time period. I'm excited that things are beginning to open up here in Plymouth, and we're hoping that these grant funds will be able to tell the story of our region. So we couldn't be prouder to be here with you today to support the efforts of this entire region and to really celebrate what we have as a community. So with that, I would like to turn it over. I would be remiss, right? One more thing. We can't do this without a team. And my team is a small team in Boston, the Mass Office of Travel and Tourism. I'm joined here today by Mike Quinlan, and he's with the Commonwealth Marketing Office. I want to thank him. I want to thank the other members of my team for pulling all of this grant work together. We have some folks who are working on the federal side to make sure that we're in compliance with all of that. Jerome Shea has been at the lead of that, and he and Mark Zapula will be making sure that everything stays on track. And so we're thrilled that this teamwork is really going to be helpful to all of Plymouth County, not just Plymouth, but the surrounding communities. And with that, I will turn it over to my good friend and colleague from the legislature, Matt Muratori, State Representative Matt Muratori. We couldn't do this without the support of our elected officials, and so I'm grateful that I did have a chance to serve with Matt as a state representative, and thankful for his support for the tourism industry. We know that our restaurants, our small businesses, our attractions are what are making our communities whole. So thanks again, Matt.
Thank you so much, Keiko, and thank you for what you have been doing the last several years for us, particularly here in Plymouth, but also for the southeast area of Plymouth County, the South Coast, Bristol County as well, and your team. We couldn't say enough. As we know, with Ken Tavares here, we've been working on that Plymouth 400 all these years, and you guys are right behind us, and then it fell apart. But you know what? We are seeing more and more tourists here now than we ever have, because there was such built-up there was such built-up demand for tourism here in the area because of all the work that you helped us do over the last decade to get people here. I was here the other night, Saturday night. You could not find a parking space at 5:30 in the afternoon. You just couldn't. So people are coming in droves here. And you know what? It's April, and we're seeing people. So with this grant, this money is really gonna go a long way to help us with those winter months. You know, we used to be a community that would have people here, maybe from Memorial Day to Labor Day or Columbus Day. But over the last several years, we're seeing it more and more. That's, sort of around mid-March to maybe, the holidays, Christmas time. But that whole January, February, March now, with having this here and having Lee Filson and her board and her team behind this, it's only going to make Plymouth that much better, and the surrounding area as well. So on behalf of the state legislature, on behalf of my delegation here, Senator Moran and Kathy Lenatra, and the people of Plymouth, we thank you so very much for all your support and all you're doing and for this grant money. And thank you, Lee, for what you're doing to help really navigate this whole $1 million. Not going to be easy, but it's going to be tremendous to see what comes out the other end. So we really appreciate that very, very much. And with that, I want to introduce Lee Filson, the CEO of See Plymouth.
Thank you, Matt. It does take a village. It takes all of us. It takes Mott, which is a great guiding force for us. It takes the legislature, which has helped us tremendously for a long time, but so much since I've been here as well. I've been so thankful, especially to you, Matt, for all the things that you've done. And we report to two different boards, James Sonder with Plymouth County Development Council, which our Mott state money is administrated through, and Destination Plymouth, and our chairman, Ken Tavares, where our local Town of Plymouth funds are managed. And so we just can't thank everybody enough for all that we've been able to do. We've had a whole list of things that we wanted to accomplish, and because of my team, they are just absolutely so incredible. We've gotten so much of it done, and with that, raise your hand if you're part of my team. I think most of them are outside, but they're outside getting the treats ready that you're going to get as you leave today. There are some people in the audience that I did want to recognize. Did Mike Jackson make it? Oh, here he is. He's representing the office of Congressman Bill Keating. Thank you so much for being here, sir. We really appreciate it. And of course, we have Julie Thompson from PAC TV, who is helping to cover this momentous event. I believe this is the first time that Plymouth and Bristol counties together have received $1 million for tourism. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. It's so wonderful. We've got Betty DeBenedictis here from Matt's office, and we welcome you. Donna Curtin is here from Pilgrim Hall. Deb Gallo from the American Hometown Thanksgiving celebration. And is Lee Hartman still around? Hello, Lee, from the Town of Plymouth. And of course, Denise McAferry is covering this for us and taking pictures, and we always love having her. If she's here, you know it's a very important event. So at any rate, I really just wanted to get up here to thank all of the partners that we have had. This has been just an amazing journey. I'm not going to kid you, federal grants and And grants in general take so much paperwork. So sometimes I'm sitting there thinking, wow, this was a lot to take on, but it's well worth it for this community. This is just the perfect vacation destination in Plymouth and Bristol counties. And Matt was right when he said that in the wintertime, we have so much more opportunity. We know we're bursting at the seams almost every weekend now because tourism has grown and grown and grown year after year. But now it's time for us to pull together and fill midweek and fill those shoulder season months that we have. I live in the heart of the tourism district, and literally beginning in the beginning of March, I start seeing people going up and down Leiden Street. So saying that we start on Memorial Day is just not the way it is. But if we can build even more crowds in those shoulder seasons, it helps all of us with our revenue streams so much. So with that, I am going to send it on to Chris Ann Terrell from Southeast Mass Visitors Bureau. She very, very kindly has come in place of Rick Kidder, who's my counterpart in the Regional Tourism Council, and we're very, very pleased to share this grant with them.
Thank you. I do have a statement from Rick. We at Southeastern Mass Visitors Bureau are pleased and proud to join with Lee and See Plymouth in this exciting opportunity to build the shoulder season business for the benefit of the Commonwealth and the tourism industry, which has been devastated by COVID. Sorry, my voice is a little... We are coming back, but also have more rebuilding to do. So thank you, Lee, and See Plymouth and your great team for taking the lead on this important opportunity. And I'll introduce Ali DiMacedo, Executive Director of America's Hometown Thanksgiving Parade. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. It's always good to be here. Matt, of course, my buddy, and everyone. As most of you know, that our event only exists because of many of the people that are sitting in this room and that have helped us through all these years. We've been doing it 25 years now, and it really has been successful because of all of you. And you've all played little roles, big roles, major roles, but together we've been able to do a really wonderful thing here in the town of Plymouth, and I'm really proud to be a part of that. The first thing I wanted to mention, I have two people that work with me. We have a very small group of America's Hometown, but Debbie Gallo, who's already been mentioned, of course, Susan Wentworth, who really are, it's like we have a little trinity there that we kind of get it to do all these things and to make it what it is. But I'm really thankful for what Keiko has done, not only now, but in the past all these years. And everyone, I think for me, as most of you know, I love telling the story, and I think that what we try to do for the Thanksgiving situation is to tell the story. We have a great story. And I think Massachusetts in general has a great story. That's why I think it's so great that you're investing in Massachusetts the way you are, because we have a great story in general, but Plymouth in particular has a wonderful story. It all began here. And you can never take that away from us. And I always tell people, I just want, when it comes to our season, we still call it the shoulder season a little bit in Thanksgiving because most people have gone home, whatever. But I just think that we need to own it, and we have owned it. And I think Massachusetts and Plymouth, and I think that every time the nation gets to hear about why we're such a great land and where it began and how it began and all the great people through all the time in history that get to do this and have, it's like a building block. And I don't want people to forget that story. That's why we do what we do. So I'm grateful to everyone, and I'm grateful for the grant that will help us even let more people know, more people will come, and it will continue to build economically, and I think that's a huge thing because that whole thing, it's one hand and the other hand. We tell a great story, we build economic base, it all works all the way around. So I'm just thankful to everyone, and I'm grateful, and I hope that we continue to have the success. And Lee, is she still here? There she is. And I want to thank Lee personally. She's really been working hard to help our event and to make sure that people are aware of our event. And it's been a long struggle for a lot of years to get people out there, but now I think people know. And so it's all good. And so I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope we continue to do great things here in the town of Plymouth. And with that, I'd like to introduce L.A. Donovan, who's the Executive Director of Plymouth Patuxet Museum, who was here long before any of us were here.
morning. Thank you, Ollie. Thank you, Lee. People from around the country and the world visit Massachusetts because history is three-dimensional here. In a virtual age, we are real, authentic, actual, not digital. The power of place is right here. Here are the ships, historic homes, streets, documents, battlefields, graveyards, farms, town halls, and town greens where the American experiment began. Thank you, Keiko. Thank you to Mott and everyone who works in tourism, certainly all of you directly or indirectly related to tourism. You are helping to keep these historic places open to the public. Your work provides education and enhances the quality of life for millions of people, creates jobs, promotes economic development, preserves cultural heritage, celebrates diversity, and enriches all of our lives. This place, historic Patuxet, the ancient homeland, and Plymouth, is a national treasure itself. The season extension grant will help preserve it by ensuring See Plymouth can get the word out that we don't roll up the sidewalks at the end of October and then hibernate until May. This beautiful county is a year-round destination. The so-called off-season has unexpected riches to offer the traveler. This grant is a boon to Plymouth County and Bristol County and destinations like Plymouth Patuxet museums. It will inspire people to visit in the typically quieter months. At the museum, we're creating new programming we can promote throughout the grant period, starting with Thanksgiving, the iconic American holiday with its message of gratitude, sharing, and community is embedded in the foundation of the United States. Through decades of marketing and promotion, Plymouth Patuxet attracts people from all over the US and internationally to experience Thanksgiving in Plymouth. At the museum, we're planning wonderful dining events, expanded programs, and new lead up to Thanksgiving throughout November, taking guests back to the days surrounding the 1621 harvest feast known as the first Thanksgiving. Visitors will be able to participate in a variety of engaging activities during those lead-up days. December's offerings include a new multicultural arts and craft fair and a holiday program for all ages. We'll have special programming in February as well, and then we're going to reopen at the end of March with lots of exciting reasons to visit. With the season extension grant, See Plymouth will be able to draw more people to the area in late fall through early spring, and that is very good news. As we all enter year 3 of economic recovery from the pandemic, please know we at Plymouth Patuxet Museums truly appreciate the season extension grant and the outstanding work Mott does year-round. Thank you.
We also have Mike Jackman here from Senator Keating's office who would like to bring greetings. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Lee, and I really appreciate the chance to just say a few words for this exciting announcement. This funding is through the federal government from the Economic Development Administration. EDA does a great job working with us in our office and has really supported the 9th Congressional District. So I wanted to publicly thank EDA for all their work, and so excited that Mott has been able to use this money for this important project. We first opened our office in Plymouth in 2012, right downtown. You know, we wanted a little name recognition. We were the new guy in town, so we wanted to be in a high visibility location. And we used to have people walk into our office and say, oh, I've never been in a congressman's office before. I'd be like, oh, what, do you live in Plymouth? Or, no, I'm from Ohio or Arkansas or Arizona. So that really impressed upon us that we get people here in Plymouth and here in this part of the state all year long. We obviously have heard from Ollie about the America's Hometown Parade, which is a huge internationally recognized event. And I also think about in Bristol County, the New Bedford Whaling Museum has the Moby Dick Marathon every January that brings people from all around the world. Maybe January is stretching the concept of a shoulder season a little bit, but it just goes to show you there's a lot going on in this part of Massachusetts all year long, and it's so important that we support that through this grant. So on behalf of Congressman Keating, who couldn't be here today, thank you, Director Orrell, thank you, Mott, thank you to EDA, and thank you to everyone in the room who made that possible. So thank you very much.
Again, we are so thrilled that you took time out of your day to join us, and we want to congratulate See Plymouth and all of the neighbors who are going to be benefiting from this wonderful grant opportunity. With that, we'd love to ask you to come forward and we will take a photo. Thank you.